Hello, my friend. It's the story that never ends, or if you prefer, the never ending story. Oh, sing it with me. No, I'm not going to. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness, Queen Tasty has discovered the new stamp. Good morning, you guys. Good morning to you. Hello. I hope you're doing well this morning. Oh my goodness. Okay, so a couple things to tell you before we get started. I'm going to have timestamps if you're watching this on the replay. I'll have timestamps down below so you can skip this part. So, can you believe it's only been 4 days since Tati uploaded a video? It feels like it's been a year and a half. Crazy, right? Okay, so we had so much fun with our new brain stamp last week where you put colon, brain, colon. And some people, it comes up as colon, brain, colon. And some people put up, and it doesn't work. And some people it does work. I don't know why. But there's a new one. I did 2 new ones. So you can either agree or disagree. And I thought that would be fun. So if you do colon, yes, colon, it'll give you a little yes stamp. And if you do colon, nope, colon, you have to do NOPE because it wouldn't let me do just no because it was only 2 letters. So I have to do nope. So if you want to agree or disagree without typing a big, huge comment, you can just do colon, yes, colon, or colon, nope, colon. There you go, right? I thought that would be fun. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about Tati's video and Shane's reaction and other things related to this topic. Now, I do believe that there are many other things going on in this world. I think that a lot of things that are affecting a lot more people are going on in this world. And I've talked about some of them on the channel. This is what's on my mind today. So this is what I'm talking about, but I get it. I get that this is the 742nd video on this topic. I totally get it. Like, I'm with you. I get it. But I have like 2,000 videos on my channel. So if you want to watch like makeup related stuff, I completely get it. Like I get it. There's so much more content. I did a Charlotte Tilbury video this week that was really good. I really liked it. I thought I did a good job. I don't know. But I've got so much makeup related content and I'm working on more makeup related content. And this is just what's on my mind today. And I have an undergrad degree in psychology. So it's one of those things where human nature has always been an interest to me. And you know, this is just something that it's on my mind. It's on my noggin, as Bailey would say. So it's something that I wanted to talk about. I have a page of notes down here just to make sure that I've got my thoughts. So if you don't want to listen, my point is if you don't want to listen to this, if you're not interested, it's no problem. I get it. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the click. I have plenty of other content that you can watch, but let the people that are here that want to hear what I have to say, hear what I have to say. Like, you don't have to watch it, and it's totally cool. Okay, so what I did for this video, was I went into Tati's video, and I edited it. So I put it in a timeline because she kind of, which I understand why she put her video the way that it did. I thought it was very effective the way that she put it. At least, well, when I first watched it, I thought it was kind of a mess. But then the second time I watched it through, it seemed like it made sense, the order that she talked about things. But I think it's important, like for me, I'm a very linear person. Like I like a timeline to be in the order of a timeline. It's easier for me to understand. So I juggled things around and I re-edited the clips together. So just so you know, what I'm showing you today is not the way Tati edited it. So if you want to see her 40-minute version, you can. I've got about 7 minutes of clip to show you from the video total. And the other thing is I know you've seen these clips a gazillion times, so I double speeded them, so that you understand like the context of it without having to sit through it at full speed. So if you're already watching this on double speed, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. But I had to get through it, and I watched it at double speed, so I felt like it would be functional to put it on double speed just so we can get through the clips a little faster. Anything else I want to say? Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is perspective. So depending on how you run your life and how you treat people and your experiences of people treating you certain ways and you treating other people certain ways and just who you are as a person, you will probably identify with different people in this scenario. Maybe you feel, I don't know, you might identify with different people because of your personal perspective. But I think it's important to to have an awareness when you go into a situation like this. This is what I do. You do what you want, but this is what I do. Having an awareness that other people have different experiences and different ways that they go about their lives, and that that's okay, and that gives people a different perspective and a different way to act. And having that open mind that it's okay to be different, I think is important when we're looking at situations like this. I just wanted to mention that. And I am someone that tends to trust easily and somebody that believes the best in people. So personally, I'm just letting you know, there's a lot of what Tati's saying that I identify with. Do I think this was a perfect video? Absolutely not. And we're going to go into that. But before we do, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to say hello to the people that are here live in the collective brain of Makeup Awesomeness. Thank you so much to the new members. Spirula, thank you so much. Michelle, and to Dazed and Confused. I know that there were a couple more. I might see them above as I scroll up. Thank you so much for joining the Collective Brain Elite. I appreciate you so very much. Marissa, good morning to you. I hope that you were having a nice weekend. Thank you for joining the Marissa. Amber and Mander Jack. Oh my goodness, Mander Jack and Teresa and Monica have earned their level 3 stamps by being a part of the elite for I think was it 3 months? I don't know. I forget. They got their little huggy stamps now. That's so cool. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Teresa says, don't forget to like and share the video. Got my coffee all ready to go. Me too. Monica, good morning to you, my friends. Mel, good morning. Kaylee, good morning. Beth and Kelly. Debbie S., good morning to you. Vicky, good morning to you, Vicky. And Michelle, classically Diana, Amanda, Wendy, and Christina. And Nugget Crusher! Nugget Crusher! Like that should be a song. I always use the wrong term for that kind of music, but actually here at the beginning and not 5 minutes before or after it ends. Happy to have you. And I think I saw my friend Latina and Julio down by the schoolyard. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to everybody that's joined the Elite so far. I appreciate you so much. In an upcoming video soon, I'll do a shout out to people that have joined. I appreciate you. But you just being here and watching this video means so much to me, and that is so helpful. Don't feel like you need to join the Elite in order to be part of our community. It's not necessary, just only if you want to. I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate you watching. So, okay, let's go ahead and get into this. I thought about doing just like a straight reaction video, but it's a 40-minute video. This would have been a 9-hour chat. Okay, so here we go. Let's do the first clip. Oh, and then I have little like dividers in there for a subject. So once a subject finishes, it's going to say the name of the next subject. Just hold off. That's what's coming next. All right, here we go. Ooh, wrong button.
I'm an imperfect person, and I do my best to be caring, kind, and loving, and I screw up, and I make bad choices.
Okay. So if you were able to sorry, echo. If you were able to understand her, I just realized that's really fast. She makes bad choices. She's admitting that she made a choice. I think one of the biggest critiques of this video is that Tati wasn't clear in that she feels bad about her role in what happened. I know that was really fast. We're going to get into, if you watch the whole thing, I think she mentions it again. Oh, when we get to the James part. She's definitely taking responsibility for her role in it. And no, it sounds like a lot of blaming other people for her action, but she is definitely, if you're listening and you really listen to what she's saying, she is taking responsibility for hitting that upload button. I do personally feel like she could have been a little more straightforward with that, a little more like, yes, I had these people in my ear, but I'm my own person and I made the choice to hit the button. And we're going to talk about that more as we keep going. So now we're going to skip into her relationship with Jeffree and how that came about.
I knew that Jeffree had had a lot of drama in his past, but when he came to me, he presented himself as someone who had changed and was trying to be better. I saw his pain and I felt that I could be a positive influence. As time went on, I learned that being friends with Jeffree Star was like being friends with a lion. Yes, he may have been dangerous, but he was always really kind to me. From time to time, I would see improvements, which were followed by setbacks thereafter, but overall, I thought he was growing as a person. And again, I thought I could be a good example for him. I had it in my head that if I could pull Jeffree somehow into like being a role model or feeling like a role model, that could be really empowering to him. And when you empower someone to feel good about feeling good, it will help them change. And if you just tear someone down, no change. But I was a fool for thinking that I could ever help him become a better person.
Okay. All right. So I can't tell you how many times I've been in a situation where I've seen a broken person. and been like, you know what, I can make a difference in this person's life. This is somebody that I can help to be a better person. And so I can sympathize with this. I've been there. But this is the thing. Like, even from afar, it's like you have to, especially with an adult, okay, with a child. I was a teacher for 11 years. With a child, it's much easier to make those kinds of impacts because their brain's still forming and they're still figuring out who they are as a person. Jeffree is a full-grown adult. And as a full-grown adult, I mean, if you know anybody that has any kind of thing that they're dealing with that impacts their life, whether it's an addiction or whether it is, just the way that they handle situations, a person has to want to change. A person has to realize there's a problem, and they have to want to change, and they have to work. They have to do the work. This logic is something that a lot of us fall in a trap in bad relationships. You know, when you meet someone and you fall in love and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best person ever. But if they were just different in this way, they'd be perfect. I'm going to help them to be a better person. I'm going to help them change. How many disastrous relationships have started off like that? How many tragedies have started off with, if I could just help them with this one area, they would be amazing. I think that there are so many people over the history of mankind that have been in that situation. So I don't blame her for wanting to help him, but at the same time, she must have seen somewhere in him that has he ever shown any evidence that he wants to change? I mean, he said it verbally, but only after being called out. Like, I don't know. Catherine says you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Absolutely. Unless the dog really wants to learn and really wants to do the work to be a better person. And I think she missed the mark. On that. Let's see. Nikki says Tati has serious white savior complex. I don't know. I don't see the connection there. Maybe just savior complex. Wanting to save people. I mean, but I think there are a lot of people like that, you know. I don't know about white savior, but savior, yeah. I mean, wanting to help people be better people, I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, but you have to realize that you can't just change somebody. They have to be a willing participant in it. So Danny says you're being too kind, Jen. Sorry to say. This is the thing, Danny, and everybody else that thinks I'm being too kind. This is my perspective. This is who I am. If you have a different perspective, that's totally okay. But this is my perspective, and I'm going to tell you what I feel, and this is what I think. This is me. But I can't give someone else's perspective. I can't give a harder perspective because that's not what I feel. So I'm not going to tell you something that I don't personally feel. Because Danny, I know that you are not alone in thinking that. That's why I mentioned it. There you go. Tati UK says white knight savior complex. Possibly that. Yeah. Like a white knight kind of situation. Tailored Toe says, Tailored Toe. Really, Jen? Tailored Toe says Jeffree doesn't care about change because his stans still love him and forgive him everything. And I think that might be a factor. It might be a factor. Keonce says, I don't think, I lost Keonce. No. I don't think that, but she does think she can save everyone. Yeah. I mean, I think that when you feel like you have a different perspective and you feel like your perspective will add something to someone's life and make them better, you know, you want to share that. But that person, like I said, has to be a willing participant. All right, let's move on. Because I want to get into the Jackie stuff because I think this is really important because I don't think people know the story. And I think it's important that this story is put together and why she talked about Jackie.
Jackie Aina. Jackie, the moment that Jeffree went off on you, the day before my first video collab with him went live, I should have run for the hills. I was naive. I was excited about the video. I got it twisted that you had provoked Jeffree because you were angry that I had filmed with someone who had a history of being labeled by others as a racist. Jackie, I'm sorry that I did not do the right thing and walk away from him then. I should have not been blind to the reasons behind the accusations of his racism. I shouldn't have defended him, and I regret any of the pain that I may have caused you.
Okay, so I don't think this has been put in a proper timeline, at least that I've seen, why she's apologizing to Jackie. So the video she's talking about is getting ready with me in my private jet. It was Jeffree's, it was on, I forget whose channel it was, whether it was Jeffree's channel or Tati's channel. But this was in 2017. So the timeline is that Jackie put up an anti-haul. And in that anti-haul, which I'm going to show you the clip so you can see exactly what she said she wasn't going to buy from Jeffree Star Cosmetics anymore. And you'll see why she said that. So Tati films the video with Jeffree. I'll go over here. Tati films the video with Jeffree. Jackie, and it's edited, it's ready to go. Jackie makes her video. Jeffree goes off on Jackie. Well, Jackie posts that Jeffree blocked her on Instagram. She posts about it on Twitter. Jeffree blocked me. Jeffree goes off, which I'll show you the screenshots of him going off. And then after that, Tati's video with Jeffree goes live. So this is after the interaction between Jackie and Jeffree is when Tati's video goes live. I want you to hear what Jackie said that made Jeffree so mad. I want you to hear what she said. Okay, but I left her intro in because I love the intro to this video, so I just left it in.
Well, I'm not gon' haul, I'm not gon' haul, I'm not gon' spend no coins. I'm not buying Jeffree Star Cosmetics, at least not anytime soon. And Manny and Jeffree's collab was very tempting. I love you some Manny anyway, and the bundle itself looked bomb. This actually started about a year and a half ago, when I had snapped about seeing some Jeffree Star Cosmetics on Chocolate Girl. I'd seen no swatches, and this was obviously a very popular brand, and I got tons of feedback from you guys basically concerned and basically saying, read into some of Jeffree's past. I'm not trying to make this open season on anybody, just being very honest, but I just have a deep issue with the anti-black comments and things that have been made publicly, and in addition to that, have not been addressed and said, I'm a different person now, I'm changed. Unless he did publicly address that, I don't know, I'm not aware, please correct me if I'm wrong. I would hate to speak on someone's character. While I do believe that people can change, but to a certain extent. Now, mind you, this is someone that I do see at events and we go on trips. We're actually going to St. Tropez together in a couple weeks. Always been very respectful, always been very cordial. You guys aren't stupid, and I know that Jeffree's not stupid. He, you guys know why you don't see his stuff on my channel, and I'm willing to bet he also knows why. It's not anything, if anybody said the comments that he said and didn't address them and didn't apologize for them, I would do the same thing. And again, while I do believe people can change, you have to tell me that and show me that, or else I won't know. I'm just gonna assume you probably said that stuff and you still feel that way. If you don't apologize for something that you regret, then you maybe still feel that way. So I don't know. I'm cool with the bells and whistles. I'm cool with all the extraness. I like the idea of him, someone who just unconditionally is himself. I live for that. I think we need more of that, in general on social media. I came this close to giving a anyway bundle because I just wanted to support Danny. It actually looked bomb. I want you guys to know that being black is beautiful. Being black is amazing. And anything that goes against that, anything that tells you otherwise or even insinuates otherwise, is a no-go for me. Jeffree keeps it real, and I'm pretty sure he understands the fact that I do too. So it's just not to be catty, but what it is. Y'all know what that is. I know it's not gonna be as drag her enough for some of y'all, but I can be still professional a little bit sometimes. I also don't fuck people for using this stuff too. It's just because everybody has individual some people just don't care about all that.
Okay, so hopefully you were able to understand that. I'm watching this back, and last night I could understand everything perfectly, but now double speed seems a little intense. But I can't go back. So you can watch, I'm going to link after this video is over, I'm going to link the full video, all these full videos, so you can watch them in their entirety at single speed. I was just trying to get through that so we could get to more commentary kinds of situations. So in my opinion, I thought Jackie was as nice as she could possibly be. She's giving him all the option. She's like, look, I just don't feel comfortable. He's done racist things in the past. I haven't seen him apologize for it. So unless I see a change in behavior, I'm not going to purchase. She didn't say she was never going to purchase ever again. She said, until I see a change in behavior, I'm not going to purchase. And Jeffree knows I keep it real. He keeps it real too, so hopefully he can understand. And even at the end, she's like, I know you all want me to drag him harder, but I'm being professional about this. She was going to see Jeffree in a couple weeks at a brand event. This took some serious guts to do this. And we all know Jackie has serious guts. I mean, this is not surprising. But especially knowing she was going to see him in a couple of weeks. What she didn't count for was Jeffree's immaturity. So that's my opinion. I feel like she was as kind as she could have been given the situation. So Cindy says she did not go hard at all. He was disgusting to her. Yes, well, let's go into that. Let's show you the screenshots of what happened afterward. That was the video why Jeffree went off. So we see here, this is the first, I believe I've got these in order. The places where I got them from, there were no timestamps on some of them. So I'm pretty sure I got these in order. So this is her tweeting out. This is what started. She tweeted out that he had blocked her. I just realized I don't. Oh. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. I thought he couldn't hear me. All right. So then he tweets back, and I apologize to anybody that this stings, of what he called her. This is, okay. People use my name when their channels are stale. Worry about your career, not why someone blocked you. Okay, and then this was Jackie's reaction. I've always said my number one issue with Jeffree Star was his views on people of color, nothing more, nothing less. Just showed you all who he is. People won't believe it. Remember, this is 3 years ago. Please research who you support in the beauty industry. There really is a lot of ugly. And then he goes in even harder about not paying her taxes, like he would know that information. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then Blue Boy, oh my gosh, says, does he realize that he just proved her right by essentially calling her broke? Okay, and then he just goes on and on and on. Who needs to announce to their audience? Well, I mean, the reason why she needed to announce it was because it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Worry about who got blocked. I mean, she was going to see him in a couple weeks. Anti-Hall's most viewed video in 3 months. Should I send an invoice? I'm a hot topic. I think that it was Jackie that brought the boys to the yard, you know? Like, she's the one, by standing up for what was right, that brought the views. It wasn't him. That's my opinion. People use my name when their channels are stale. Worry about your career, not someone who blocked you. I think that's, yeah, okay. That's the last one. So I mean, this is normal Jeffree Star behavior, that he goes off about things that, in my opinion, this is from my perspective and who I am, which is not who he is that, so there was like a warning on the stream. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. He's gone off on fans multiple times. And the thing was, if he had just said, Jackie, I appreciate your feedback. I'm always working on being a better person. I hope that one day you'll feel comfortable buying Jeffree Star cosmetics. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple weeks. That's it. Done. She was so kind. You know what I mean? She was so kind. So, I don't know. Daria says, he was always nice to me, is the way people always justify being friends with racists and abusers. Absolutely. Humans are complicated. Valentine, maybe I'm naive, but is Rat racist? Yes. Rat is calling a black person, comparing any black person to an animal, especially something like a rat, is extremely racist. It goes along, if you look up the term hood rat, that will give you some context there. And yeah, that's extremely racist. So yeah, it's not okay. Not okay. So yeah, so that's what Tati was apologizing for. We are 25 minutes in, so we need to keep it moving. AMB, why stand with Tati? She made choices. She admitted they were poor, but what she failed to admit was her own part in it. She benefited from her relationship with him. Oh, 100%. Oh, I agree with you, AMB. But she did say in the beginning, and she says again later, that she is taking responsibility. But the problem with the video is it gets lost in the rest of the video, and it should have had its own time of, I hit the button. We're going to talk about that in a minute, though. We're not there yet. All right, here we go.
Shane came over one afternoon in April and I opened up and shared things that I've only shared with my closest of friends. I shared that I had been the victim of sex. I spoke about my faith and told him how deeply I feel for others. He shared with me that he was an empath and that he could feel all of my pain. He pledged his unending friendship and loyalty to me forever in this life and in the next one. He told me that God had called me to be a beacon of light for the world, so that it could be a better place. He also shared that Jeffree had wanted me to have a small role in their docuseries, but the entire series was quickly changing because there was something horrible happening in our community with James Charles. He said that James Charles was a monster with many victims. Yes, I knew that Shane was friends with Jeffree and that they were working together, but I thought to myself, why would Shane Dawson, the king of truth on YouTube, be turning against James Charles unless these things he was saying were true?
Okay. So if you think about it, okay, you're Tati and you're having this conversation with Shane. If you've watched his documentaries, that fits perfectly. What she said fits perfectly with the persona, if it is a persona that he's presented with Eugenia Cooney, with Tana Mojo, with Jake Paul, with all of these, with Jeffree Star, with these documentaries, is this empath. And I was going to say this later, but this is what I'm wondering. You know how all this stuff is coming out about Shane, about his background and everything. What if the empath Shane is just another character? What if that's not who Shane really is? I mean, think about it. If you're an empath, I would love if you would weigh in on this. If you're an empath, can you talk about children the way that he talked about children? Can you display racist characters the way that he did? Can you say the things that he's done in his path? If you're an empath, your whole deal, your whole life, you are absorbing people's energy. You are absorbing the feelings of people around you. As an empath, I can't imagine it being possible for him to be so incredibly insensitive. Did he just one day wake up and the magical empath fairy came and sprinkled dust on him and made him an empath? So what I'm wondering is if the empath, I don't know. I've talked to Shane through DM a handful of times. I do not know him personally other than through texting conversation. Is the empath a character and he's fooled everybody? That's what I'm wondering because it's not matching up. But what Tati's saying matches up with the Shane that we have gotten to know since the Graveyard Girl documentary, which was the first documentary he did on a YouTuber. So, because if that's when you first started watching his channel like me, that's who I thought Shane Dawson was for a while until little things started leaking out. And then it's like the hair in the food situation that we were talking about before. So, I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. Okay, Michelle says, no, you would never be able to say those things as you would feel how they would feel. I think anyone who knows who, I don't think anyone knows who the real Shane is. And we're going to get into that in a bit. Emma says, as an empath, definitely not. Caffeine and sarcasm, well, duh, it's not who Shane is. Even a broken and dark empath does not do what he has done. Right. Unfiltered 50 says an empath can never. It's too painful. So, I mean, that was just something that I guess there's lots of people that are like, well, duh, Jen. But sometimes we have these aha moments that are like duh to other people, but it's an aha for us. And you can laugh at me if you want to. But that was my aha moment. I was like, wow. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on to James.
However, prior to the scandal last May, I'd started growing frustrated with what I perceived as a progressing sense of entitlement, and I felt that he was making some detrimental choices that could jeopardize his career and safety.
I think that part is really important, where Tati says she has concerns about him, James, and who he is before she even meets Shane. Before any of this starts happening, before Jeffree starts whispering in her ear, before Shane starts saying anything, she already had problems with the way that James was behaving. That James was being an arrogant butthead. He was on his phone all the time and was being arrogant. And whatever other things that she was seeing in him, this was even before. So then Shane and Jeffree come and they start whispering in her ear.
Back in 2019, Jeffree started talking a lot more crap about James Charles than usual. It seemed that doing so had become his biggest obsession. It started with him telling me right before filming our collab together for James Charles's channel that James Charles actually didn't want me there, that he had wanted Nikki tutorials instead, but said he'd have my back. Things further escalated at my birthday. Every time James Charles's back was turned, Jeffree would tell me that James Charles was out of control. He even texted and called me the following morning to apologize for James Charles's behavior at my birthday dinner and how embarrassed he was for me. Why would Shane sit in my home and spend so many hours telling me these horrific allegations if they were not true? Shane said that James Charles was a monster and that James Charles was hurting minors. Shane said he was planning to interview victims for the docuseries. He told me that something needed to be done to stop him from hurting more people. Over the course of the next few weeks, he and Jeffree fed me so much information that I felt sick. Almost every day, there was more information and new allegations. Eventually, I started believing what they were saying because they said they had evidence. By the time the drama around James Charles's promotion of Sugar Bear Hair reached its peak, I was beyond gaslit. Shane Dawson didn't just know about my bi-sister video. He offered to help edit it. He even offered to design the thumbnail and help title it. I declined his offer, but his gesture supported and reinforced for me that he was telling the truth. Why else would he jeopardize his career? So surely Jeffree was telling the truth too. I struggled with the decision to film my video for days. The night before I did film, Jeffree sent me what he claimed was an audio file from an alleged victim and told me to listen to the pain in their voice. The audio was clearly a small portion of a larger conversation. It wasn't enough for me to contact the authorities. It was enough to scare me.
You know, this reminds me of like the angel and the devil on your shoulder kind of thing. That she's already feeling a little icky about James in the direction he's going in. Then she's got Jeffree and Shane putting this stuff in her head. And the connection that I made here is they put the drama in the trailer for the docuseries because Tati says in a minute that Shane asked to go over to Tati's house and film the bi-sister, that whole thing. She said no, which changed the path of the docuseries. That the intention was to make a part of this be about the sister scandal stuff. But because Tati said no, it threw a monkey wrench in the whole plan and they had to shift. So it seems like, from my perspective, that they were doing all of this for content for the docuseries. We will manipulate Tati in order to create content. Now, this is where I know I've been very easy on Tati so far because that's how I genuinely feel. This is where, of course, Tati should have talked to James privately, period, full stop. Full stop. And she says that.
The night before posting my video bi-sister, I texted Shane sharing my concerns for James Charles, that he was out of the country on a high floor of a hotel and I was afraid for him hurting himself. Shane texted me back and said that I should not be nervous about the 50th floor, that James Charles was a narcissist and that he would never do that. The day the video went up, Shane requested to come over to my home and film and document what was happening. I declined. After a few days of Jeffree fanning the flames on Twitter, no victims appeared as they had stated would happen, and no evidence came forward as they stated would happen.
So their content didn't exist. They were trying to, in my opinion, they were trying to manufacture drama using Tati for content for the docuseries. And because Tati didn't let them film, they didn't have the content. When she, in the aftermath part, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's see what you all have to say, and then we're going to take a little break. We're going to talk about what's on my face, and then we're going to continue. I don't see us talking about anything else today. We might get through all of this and maybe have a few minutes left, but I doubt it. Just letting you know. Okay, just real quick, what are you all saying? Tracy says, so because Tati didn't give them what they wanted, they left her out of their infomercial. Yeah, that should have been the breaking point, yeah. Miss Americana, yes, should have talked to him privately, yes. Ashley, I do believe Jeffree and Shane viewed James as competition and could use Tati, but at the end of it, she made the decision to post that video instead of reaching out to James. Tati making excuses. I don't think she's making excuses, though. I think that she's telling the story. She's saying this impacted it. She's the one who hit the button, and she should have stressed that more in the video, is that she's the one that hit the button. Vivi says, why people still believe Tati is beyond me. I would love to hear more about your perspective on that. I don't see any reason not to believe her. It makes sense to me. That's just me. I mean, again, this is my perspective. Miss Bunny, Tati has grown, period. We're going to get into that when we get into Ryland's tweets, which really, 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 really pissed me off. I went off some on Periscope because I just couldn't hold in because I was so pissed off. But we'll get into that. Elizabeth, uploading a video was not the appropriate response. I do think Tati was manipulated, but her behavior was inappropriate. 100%. Totally agree. And I want to make sure people watching this, the replay, hear me when I say uploading the video was incredibly inappropriate and wrong. She never should have uploaded it. She never should have uploaded it. And I feel like in the video, she should have taken more responsibility for that choice. I feel like she did take responsibility, but it kind of gets lost in the rest of the video. Yeah, Angela says, did she ever ask herself if posting the video was a good idea? I'm going to get into that too, because I got a theory there. Okay. So, all right, let's talk about what's on my face today. So on my eyes today, I'm working on a review of this, planning to film this next week. Natasha Denona bronze palette. I know there's already a lot of videos on this, but I want to do a review on it, so I'm gonna. I used on my face today, on my eyes today. I didn't put this on my face. I used Beach. I used Suntan in the crease, and then I used a little bit of Rhodium in the outer corner. But all over my lid is Sydney Grace over here. Sydney Grace's Vibrant Madness is what you see all over my lid. Let me show you what this is. Oh my gosh, these liquid shadows are, this was purchased. This is PR. Woo! Don't spill. Okay, this was PR. I've talked about these multiple times before. These things are stinking amazing. I love these things so much. So much. They make me so happy. These Sydney Grace liquid shadows. Oh my gosh, I can't even with them. So that is what is on my eyes. On my cheeks today, I have the Peach C Rose Pea Cheek. This was sent in PR by Yes Style. I have the Ofra Start Inspired Highlighter by Samantha March, also in PR. Got that on as my highlighter. And then on my lips today, this is purchased. This is Supernatural by Dose of Colors, mixed with, again, in PR, Verona from Ofra. So that is what is on my face today. You're welcome for the makeup-related content. Okay. Jaime says, Tati was just trying to get attention by posting Bye Sisters. If she really cared, she would have had a convo. We're going to talk about that. I don't know. Getting attention. What kind of positive attention was she going to get? Like what? I don't know. All right. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm not quite there yet. I'm getting there. All right. Almost there though. We're getting there. We've got about 4 minutes left of stuff I've got queued up for you total.
The last time I spoke with either Jeffree or Shane on the phone was the night before Jeffree's Never Doing This Again video. Shortly after, the relationship dissolved entirely, and I was so confused. I bought into the conspiracy theory that what happened was all a social experiment, and that maybe James Charles was even involved, and that there was going to be a big reveal in Shane's docuseries, and that I would be the fool who fell for it. Shane never reached out to check on me, and he never shared the trailer with me. The last time we spoke on the phone was before Jeffree's apology video, and I asked him to not include the drama in the series. He only texted me after the trailer was live with an audio message telling me to not worry about it. The drama was only going to be one episode.
Okay, so at this point, if you had any questions about Shane actually genuinely being friends with Tati, at this point, if you believe Tati, that's out the window. Because, okay, As Told by Kenya made a really, really good point. I'm pretty sure it was Kenya. I'm like 99% sure because I watched a few videos, but I'm pretty sure it was Kenya, and I hadn't heard anybody else say this. Do you guys remember, if you've been around for a while, that KKW had the launch of her brand, Kim Kardashian West, had the launch of, like, you don't know who KKW is. Come on, Jen. Had the launch of her brand. All of the big influencers were invited. All of them, except for Tati. She was the only one not invited. The only one. Tati, from my understanding, doesn't have a management company. A lot of these people have management companies that get them into things. You wonder why some of these people get these crazy deals or in magazines and all of this stuff. Their management company is getting them these opportunities, these collabs with celebrities and things like that. It's their management company. I don't believe Tati has a management company, and I think that's part of why probably she was not invited to this party. But she was the only one not invited. She had been excluded from the group of top beauty influencers since the beginning of time. She had never been invited to this stuff. So I can see her just wanting to be a part of it. I mean, is that maybe high school, wanting to be a part of the cool kids crowd, everything? Yeah, of course. But it's also human nature to want to be included and want to have friends in the space and want to feel like you're part of things and want to get invited to parties and things. And I thought that was a really important point that Kenya made. So this was kind of her way into that. You know, but, and anybody that says that she's fake crying, like, I don't think that's fake, man. I don't think she should get an Oscar if that was fake. Like, I've seen a lot of fake crying in my day. That was not fake, in my opinion. I mean, the hyperventilation is really difficult to manufacture authentically. I just don't see that. I don't see that. Madeline said, but Tati talked crap about Charles's behavior at her birthday dinner. Yes, that's true. Yes, exactly. Because remember, she was talking about how she had concerns before, and then his behavior at her birthday dinner was you know, what made her kind of pushed her to believing what Shane and Jeffree were saying and going that direction. So Opulent says, I'm pretty sure Tati's husband managers are, yeah. But I mean, I don't think that's the same as being with a management company, like that has all of the connections and things. But yeah. SC says, I'm surprised how defensive you are of Tati. She's coming to us yet again with no receipts and we're supposed to believe her. Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see that point of view. I don't know if I'm defensive of Tati. I think I believe her. That's my, I don't know what to say. I believe her. I believe that what she's saying is her true feelings. What reason does she, like, if you're saying you need to see receipts, what do you want to see? Like, what would you want to see that would make you feel better? Like I don't know what you want to see. That's my question. Yeah, Mari says she's crying about the situation she is. Oh, yeah, absolutely. She's crying about the situation she's in, 100%. But don't you think that she might be crying because she thought she had friends and they turned on her as soon as she wasn't useful anymore? I don't know. Be who you want. Hopefully this doesn't scroll down too far because I want to read this. Be who you want. Where did it go? Okay, I think this video Tati released was way too calculated and it was literally kicking someone when they're down. Who was she kicking? Oh, Shane. Shane was already dealing with so much serious crap. I wish she would have waited. Till when? Is my question. Till when? And I'm sorry, but Shane needs to be kicked. Shane needs to be kicked a lot. Okay, and we're going to go into that too about why it's such a big deal that YouTube has demonetized this content. We're going to get into that. All right, I think we need to keep going with the story.
I did not make my video because of vitamins. I made it as a result of all the poisonous lies that were fed to me by Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. Yes, I'm a grown woman. I'm smart. I can usually spot deceit and manipulation a mile away, but my guard was down from being heartbroken, and I allowed myself to be worked by Shane, Jeffree, and others. I should have tried harder to reach you over those concerns in person. And I'm sorry for giving up. The information they were giving me was terrifying. I thought your career and freedom were in jeopardy. I was trying to get you to put your phone down and seek help because I was told there were a lot of victims that were going to come forward to destroy you. James, I apologize for uploading that video. I should have known better than to fall for their lies and manipulation, but in the end, I failed. And instead, I allowed Shane and Jeffree to put a wedge between our friendship.
So again, this is her taking responsibility for hitting the upload button. She just didn't say it super clearly, but she is taking responsibility for hitting the upload button. She's taking responsibility. And I think people, because it's such a small portion of the video, it gets lost. So I wanted to bring that to the forefront. All right, let's keep going.
After my video went up, I was never served a lawsuit or any cease and desist letters. I only privated my video at the request of YouTube because YouTube said it was a bad look for their platform.
I thought that was really interesting because YouTube can take down any video they want, but they know it didn't violate terms of service. So they had no like in their rules way to take it down. And they knew if they took it down without Tati's consent, if they just took it down, then they would have to explain why they took it down when it didn't violate rules. So instead, they asked her to take it down because it was a better PR move, which was very smart on YouTube's part to ask her to take it down rather than taking it down themselves. But I thought that was a really interesting move by YouTube to like come up to her and be like, hey dude, like, can you take this down? Okay, moving on.
Back in December 2019, after Shane and Jeffree's series ended, James Charles came to my LA home and we compared DMs, texts, and stories about what had happened behind the scenes. We apologized to each other, forgave each other, and agreed to wait patiently until it was safe for me to share my story. Since that night, James Charles has repeatedly said that he wanted to be beside me for this video. But I felt it was important that I do it alone.
Okay, so this is where I want to bring in the Bi Sister video. Who stood to benefit from the Bi Sister video? What would Jeffree get out of this? Let's talk about Jeffree first. What does Jeffree get out of the Bi Sister video? He takes down his biggest competition, which is James Charles, who is surpassing him in every single number. He takes down James, which is actually really stupid, in my opinion, because if you watch the documentary, Shane's docuseries, you saw how much of the sisters' merch was in Jeffree's warehouse. He was making money off of James Charles. So if you're a smart businessman and you see you're making money off of somebody else's success, who cares if he's bigger than you? You're making money off of his merch. Like, you idiot. Like, let the man source. You can make more money off of his merch, you moron. Like, that's my opinion. I thought that was really stupid. I mean, it's all ego. It's all ego, impulsivity. I thought that was really stupid. How would he benefit? He benefits by being the top dog now that James is out of the way. And if James is selling, I don't know if he was selling something when Conspiracy came out or what, but, bringing James down, I guess, brings Jeffree up. I don't know. What does Shane get out of this? Shane gets footage for his documentary. By manipulating Tati, he gets more footage for his documentary. He gets more views. He gets more money. He gets more accolades. He gets all of that. So Shane is benefiting in lots of ways. How is Tati benefiting from Bi Sister? You let me know. If you could think of one thing that Tati would have gotten, like, let's just say everything went perfectly for Tati. Bi Sister went perfectly for her. What did she get out of it? What would she ever have gotten out of it? I can't think of a single thing. Honestly, I can't think of anything that she would have gotten out of Bi Sister. She said she was trying to help her friend to be a better person, which I think is insane. She thought he might jump off of a building. What? If you have a feeling that your action might cause someone to jump off of a building, you don't do that, especially if it's someone you care about. Like, what kind of insanity is this? What kind of insanity is that? Even if Shane says, oh, he'll be okay, he's a narcissist, he'll be all right, he's not going to jump. How do you have that? This is my biggest critique. How in the heck do you have that thought that my action may actually lead someone to making an irreversible decision? My action may lead to that, but I'm going to do it anyway because I care about them. What? Are you kidding me? That was the part that got me. But I don't see a benefit for Tati in uploading this video, except for maybe venting. I don't know, getting her emotions out. I see no benefit. And that's why I believe Tati in a lot of this, is because she had nothing to gain from Bi Sister. She had nothing to gain. I don't get it. Except for maybe, you saying views, maybe? I don't know. Oh, here we go. Crystal says millions of followers and dollars from the video and then Halo Beauty. Okay. So you think that by her calling out James Charles, that people would celebrate her and subscribe to her channel for calling him out? Fair enough. Okay, I'm processing that. I guess so. That's a weird way to go about it. I think if you're going to go for the millions of views route, I think her friendship with Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson is where she's thinking she's getting those millions of views from being part of the docuseries. From her friendship with them is where the millions of views are coming from. I don't know if Bi Sister, if that was in the forethought. I don't know. I'm not sure. And then Halo Beauty. I guess if Shane and Jeffree promote Halo, she would make more money. So in order to believe that, then you have to believe that Tati is very money driven, which she very well may be. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, Alyssa, Tati benefits because she can get her revenge and sell her vitamins. Revenge for what, though? Revenge for what? I don't know. And how is this an ad for vitamins? I don't get that. I guess putting her face in front of more people through her relationship with Jeffree and Shane would potentially sell more product for her. And Tati Beauty, remember, she's working on Tati Beauty at the same time. Okay. Mika says, Tati never said James was innocent. Even James admitted to being inappropriate, not illegal, and not knowing proper boundaries. Only Shane and Jeffree kept saying that James is and there were victims. Right. Right. Okay, Julia says drama clearly gets a lot of views. She would have to know beforehand. Okay, Danielle says she suspected to have made $19 million from this. From where are you getting that number from, Danielle? From what? From like Halo Beauty sales, Tati Beauty sales, video views? Mel says, anytime you come out like she did, she's only going to lose. Jen, I agree with you 1,000%. Rose says, yes, she's money driven, but how do you know that? How do you know that? That's what I'm wondering. Kay Quinn says she jumped the gun. She thought she would lose subs. I think she did mention that she thought she would lose subscribers over it. But I think that her relationship with Shane and Jeffree would have led to more subscribers and more eyes, if that's where your mind is going with it. Jay Costine says the number of times she wanted to make them a better person and wanted to be a good influence was way too repetitive, leading me to think it was just an excuse. She kept plugging it in. But if that's who she is, then that's part of the story, though, right? I mean, I can kind of see that. Sahar's sighing. Sorry, Sahar. Liz says James Charles used Sugar Bear vitamins and she called him out then in the video instead of using her vitamins. Yeah, and well, she should have talked to him privately about that. Okay, Huey says, Jen, OMG. If JC didn't upload his response, she would continue to gain subs and sell. Well, she's still gaining subs and selling. Well, I don't know if she's gaining subscribers, but she's still selling. Karen says Tati isn't a victim. I agree. She did it. Okay, I want to make this very clear, people on the replay. Tati is not a victim. She played her role. She made her choice. She is not a victim. She did it. I mean, it sucks that she allowed that to happen, but it was, in the end, it was her choice is what it comes down to. Yes. Okay, we're going to get to Shane's response in a minute. Oh my goodness. We only have 4 minutes. We're going to have to stay on a little longer because I got a lot more to say. All right, because we only have 6 minutes left, and I'm not going to get through this. I got 2 minutes more of footage.
My opinion, he's going to go off, guys, and I don't think I don't think he will hold back, and I think we need to be prepared to understand that we need to forgive the people that he is holding hostage with veiled threats of exposure. We need to be prepared to forgive them. Otherwise, this won't stop. So prepare to not cancel everyone and give them a chance. It's not right. It is not right to try to trap people into saying things that they wouldn't otherwise say. It's not right.
All right, very quickly on that, I don't think that we should be prepared not to cancel people. I think we should be prepared to have an open mind and make sure we hear both sides, because we all learned from this whole situation that we need to hear all sides of the story, at least as many sides as we can before we pass judgment. And if Jeffree does release some clips, I think we need to, I mean, this is what I'm going to do. You can do what you want. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to what they have to say. And then I would like to hear what that person has to say regarding those clips and then make my own thing. I think holding people accountable is really important. I don't think, canceling somebody just to cancel somebody is one thing, but I think holding people accountable is important. And I don't think we should just be dismissive of whatever Jeffree puts out, but we do need context and we do need to hear both sides of it as much as possible. That's my opinion. All right.
I just want to get my life back. And I don't want to feel like this. For what?
And that just stresses to me more that it's like, I mean, do you really think Tati thinks this was worth it? Really? You really think Tati thinks this was worth it? That's my opinion.
hope there's a small part of this that can help you to feel like you don't have to hate people. It does not fix anything. Even people that you want to cancel. Don't cancel them. Don't hate them. Don't spread hate. Really actually do that. Don't spread hate. You can turn away and give your time to yourself or to something else. You don't have to live there. You don't have to participate. It does nothing.
And I think that that is pretty good advice, though. I think that if you decide you don't like somebody, you don't need to necessarily, like, just go somewhere else. Don't waste your time. You know, there's definitely creators on this platform, mostly outside the beauty space, that I have realized are people that I don't want in my life. I do not want to watch their videos. I don't want them in my living room. I don't want them in my brain. I don't want them anywhere near me. So I stopped consuming that content. And we all have to take responsibility for the content we choose to consume. And if you do not want someone in your headspace, then you should not allow that. And you should move on and do other things. That's my opinion. That's what I'm going to do. I shouldn't say you should. I think you should do what you want to do. But that's what I'm going to do. Is if I don't want someone in my headspace, I'm just not going to watch their content anymore. Not participate in it. Just not going to watch their content. I mean, all right. Moving on to Shane and Ryland. So I think Shane made the stupidest move ever. Stupidest move ever. Going live while he was watching Tati's video. Stupid. Just straight up stupid. I have a couple clips from that.
So sure.
Oh, of course. Is that another ad? Another ad.
The ads were there because they were going to charity. The money goes to charity. Moving on.
Oh my God.
My video for days. The night before I did film, Jeffree sent me what he claimed was an audio file from an alleged victim.
Oh, I think he cusses in this part. So if you have, I forgot to bleep out the cuss words, so just fair warning.
And told me to listen to the pain in her voice. The audio was clearly a small portion of
Oh my
the
God.
conversation. It wasn't enough for me to contact the authorities. It was enough to scare me.
Well, then why would you make a video on the matter claiming these allegations?
Because she is a fucking... I can't. I don't want to say mean things about people.
Do you see him break character? Okay, all right. Do you see him break character? Sorry for the echo. He just broke character. He realized, oh wait, I forgot. I'm an empath. I'm not supposed to do that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah. She uploaded the video. I think what Ryland's critique there of Tati uploading the video, I think is fair. She needed to take responsibility for uploading the video. I think that that's fair.
Sorry, keep pressing play. I need to get through this video so I can fucking... Oh my God.
As a victim of abuse myself,
Oh my God.
terrified
You are so manipulative.
to think of facing public.
You're fake crying. You are fake crying. You are fake crying. That is not real. Oh my God.
That is some messed up stuff. Okay, why didn't he just sit and listen? Because he's sitting there yelling and he's not listening. So what I'm wondering is, did he watch this ahead of time? Did he watch this and then he told Ryland to rewind it so that he could react to it live? Because he wasn't listening to what she was saying. He's like yelling at her about her fake crying and all this stuff, and he wasn't even listening to what she was saying. He's just screaming and yelling. Like, I just found that super weird. And the creepy, like, screaming thing, like, super creepy, in my opinion. Super creepy. Oh, okay. So, okay, let's just go into this. So Ryland then tweets out, oh, yeah, we're good. A master class in manipulation. The only way to save her reputation was to side with the person she tried to ruin. Make no mistake, this 40-year-old woman chose to post a video on her own accord. She riled up Shane before doing so to have one of the biggest creators backing her and a chance that this all backfired. Shane would have posted a video exposing James had he felt so inclined. No, he didn't have the footage to expose James, and he couldn't because he didn't have the footage. He didn't have the receipts. No receipts because she didn't want to expose the countless times she told Shane she was a big girl doing this only for herself. And I remember Tati saying this was her choice, she was doing it, and she did. And I don't think that came across very well in the video, and she should have made that a bigger part of the video. What really pissed me off about Ryland's post was about her being 40. That has absolutely nothing to do with this. And I think that's a lack of perspective. And when I was in my early 30s, I might have thought the same thing. But the thing is when you're in your early 30s and when you're in your 40s, you are the same person. You see through the same eyes. You still have the same amount of empathy for people because you're the same person. And if Shane was truly an empath, Ryland would know that. It has absolutely nothing to do with her age. And the fact that her age keeps getting brought off pisses me off so bad because it's not about age. Anybody can be manipulated at any age. Anybody can be manipulated at any age. Period. I mean, people in relationships all the time in their 40s, 50s, 60s get manipulated. You know, you think about people that get the cruddy phone calls, you know, the scam phone calls. Most of the victims are people that are older. You know, people can get scammed and have that devil in their ear that make them maybe push them a certain direction at any age. And this made me, I was furious when I read this, that he was trying to shame her for being 40 and not listening to them. Maybe if Shane hadn't been such a cruddy human, maybe she wouldn't have done that. And Jeffree hadn't been such a cruddy human, maybe she wouldn't have done it. Again, she needed to take responsibility for her part. I think Ryland is correct that she kept saying she was doing it for herself. I agree with that part, but I do not agree with shaming her for her age and saying she should have known better because she's 9 years older than Shane is or whatever. It's ridiculous. All right. Is that it? Oh, one more. I hope you enjoy those sold out vitamins that made you millions in minutes. Shane support, you two-faced liar. This just shows the arrogance of this situation. I just find that to be incredibly arrogant. Tati sold a lot on her own without Shane's endorsement. She did. She sold a lot on her own without Shane's endorsement. She did not have to have Shane in order to make those things. And did anybody put a gun to Shane's head and make him endorse the vitamins? Did he say, hey, Tati, if I endorse your vitamins, you have to kiss my butt forever? No. That's my opinion. Okay. M. Gutzman, no, Jen. When you're 30, and how are you see things differently at any age? 40. At 40, you have matured more. We grow and mature with age and life experiences. That's true, but we're still the same person. We're still the same person. Yes, you might see things differently, but that doesn't mean you're not going to be manipulated. There isn't a magic age that as soon as you blow out the candles, you can no longer be manipulated by people. And if you are my age and older, and you are an empathetic person, then you might have that same perspective. But if you're not, you may have a different perspective. And when you get to that age, or, you know, maybe if you'll meet someone that is more like that way, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I saw one that I wanted to respond to and then I lost it. Okay. A lot of people are accusing me of being biased toward Tati. I've met Tati twice. She's always been nice to me, but we are not friends. Oh yeah, she sent me PR. Yes, I don't care. I would have bought it anyway. She sent me her palette, but I would have bought it anyway. She said I was on PR for the Blendiful, and I never got it. I bought 2 of those because I cut one open. But I don't care. I mean, if you know anything about being an influencer, PR really truly doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You get so much stuff in PR, you pay for stuff, you don't pay for it. It really doesn't matter. I have met Tati twice. She's always been nice to me. But the last time I messaged her in January, I haven't heard from her since. We are not friends. If I was biased toward Tati, I wouldn't be so, she screwed up. Don't you think? But you can think what you want. This is my opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's totally okay. It's totally okay. It's totally fine. I mean, a PR really truly does not, it's not that big of a deal. So, you know, I will say that I do, remember I said in the beginning how you may identify with different people in the story. I do identify with Tati more because I do think of things that way. I do give people the benefit of the doubt. I have tried to change people in the past. You know, so yeah, I identify with Tati more, and that's who I am as a human. If you identify with other people more, that's up to you. But I don't know.
Do you think Tati's being manipulative in her video?
Do I think she's being manipulative in her video? I think that whenever anybody makes a video about anything, there is some kind of agenda. Absolutely. And I think, this is my opinion, I don't know. This is my opinion. I think Tati's agenda was to tell her side of the story, to expose Jeffree and Shane for who she believes that they are, to apologize publicly to James, and also to let everybody know that her and James have made up and that James is no longer mad at her, and to make sure people knew that. I think that was the motivation. Did she make it to make herself look better? Oh, 100%, absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't personally see anything wrong with that. You know, I do believe her when she says she just wants to move on with her life. I mean, none of us got into this for this. We got into this to buy inanimate objects and put color on our faces. That's why we got into this. We didn't get into this for this. You know? So, am I biased toward Tati? Let me just say, I feel like because I identify with who she is as a person, and because I feel like I'm a similar person, I do feel like that is a bias. But I don't think it's because I just want to make sure you know it's not because we're friends. Okay, because we haven't, I DM'd her in January and I haven't heard anything back. I've DM'd her, I think, 4 times since then and I haven't heard anything back. To ask questions about the Blendiful and like different things, and just to say, hey, when she took her hiatus, hey, how you doing? Just checking in, make sure you're okay, blah, blah, crickets. So we're not friends. Just want to make sure you know that. Okay. I'm going to read a couple more comments and I'm going to go because I'm already 8 minutes over and I don't want to keep you too long. Tired says, James didn't say anything about it. Do you think they really made up? I don't think that she could say that publicly unless it were true, because the James could come back and be like, no, that's not even true. Like, that didn't even happen. When you're dealing with public figures like this, there's no way to not tell the truth about something like that. That would make her look awful. If James was like, Tati lied, we're not friends. I don't think it's possible for that not to be true. Yeah, Lori says, amazes me how people are so easy to forgive and forget Shane and Jeffree, but not Tati. And I think too, as women, we're harder on women than we are on men. And if we think about the grand scheme of things, the things that Shane and Jeffree have done are disgusting. They're disgusting. Did Tati do some crap things? Absolutely. Like what I said about uploading her video, knowing that her friend, that James could make an irreversible decision, was a horrible decision. It was awful. But does that compare really to what Shane and Jeffree have done? Does that really compare? Like, really and truly? And if you're not sure, please do look up and see, because I don't want to talk about the details of what Shane's done, because it's disgusting. And it goes on and on and on and on, and it doesn't stop. I saw an eye rolly and I wanted to mention that because I'd rather address things live if people have issues rather than deal with it in the comments.
I think some people are saying that you're so biased towards Jeffree already that it's skewing your perspective on this.
Okay. I'm biased toward Jeffree because he's a racist. I'm sorry, but if you're okay with someone being a racist, then you know, I can't tell you what to do with your life. I mean, like, you know, yeah, I think Jeffree's a crudball. I've been saying it for years and years and years, but I've reviewed his makeup honestly and openly and gave positive reviews to almost all of it. He is a crudball. He is a gross human. Period. Stop. Period. Stop. And Shane and I had a very good texting relationship before all of this. You know? So, I mean, Jeffree's a crudball. He is. He's always been. There's no evidence. I mean, there's only so much money. I mean, he donates to charities. What else? He donates excess things that he didn't buy another Birkin. Instead, he donated it to a charity. I'm sorry, but that's not, to me, that doesn't make you a saint. I'm sorry. Yep. KM says Jeffree is racist. Remember what he said at Makeup by Shayla. Never forget that. I think that if you are still looking at Jeffree and you are not seeing that how racist he is, then I don't know what to tell you. I honestly don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to say. So the chat is blowing up. Blowing up. All right, I'm going to do one more comment. Tati UK says, but she's allowed to be biased. Nothing says she has to be neutral completely. This is Jen's channel and personal opinion, which she is allowed. I mean, I'm a human being. Of course I'm going to have, like I said, I prefaced it in the beginning. When you have your own experiences, you're going to see the world differently. This is my perspective from my opinion. I am not a robot that sees everything objectively. I am a human being with experiences and ways I choose to handle things. You may handle things differently, and that's okay. That's okay. All right, I'm going to pop off here. Thank you for being here. It is okay to disagree. But if you can excuse making jokes about children and you can excuse blatant racism, then that's not something that I am with. That's not something I'm about. That's not something that I can support. I don't care how many years ago it happened. The racist stuff has happened recently, in recent years. Shane was making money off of his blackface videos until a couple months ago. This is not just things that happened years ago. This is recent. So, all right, on that, I'm going to go. If you joined the elite today, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Mad love to you. I'm going to go eat some black bean burgers for lunch. And I will see you next week. Mad love. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.